Hey, you know what time it is. It's time for another investment update. Investment update. All right, y'all. Okay, so I'm here with an investment update I'm super excited about. Because if you've been paying attention to the market, you know this is going to be a positive update. Unlike my last two, yikes. Okay, so it's July 2023, and I'm giving you an update on what my mutual fund portfolio has done since the beginning of the year. So this is my mid-year update. I did an update in March of this year on this channel about what my 2022 investments had done. But it's a new year. I'm giving you a mid-year update. Why is my phone making noise when I told it not to make noise? Hi. If you're new here, my name is Rashida Dow, and I am a career break coach. I help women leave jobs that don't serve them to live lives they love wherever in the world that might take them. I also took a career break and I retired-ish at about 39. And since then, I've kind of been giving people updates about my life, what retirement looks like, what semi-retirement looks like. I'm always like in between what that looks like. I don't really know. But I'm here today to talk to you about money in retirement. That's what we're doing. I have another channel called Rashida Dow, and over there I talk all things Mexico City, where I live, and I talk about career breaks. Here I talk about money. On Rashida Dow, we talk about money. So today I'm talking to you about money, what my investments look like right now, and how I'm using those for my semi-quasi is it not retirement. Ready? Let's go. My last investment update that covered 2022, the numbers were like, well, I need a sound effect for that. Down, not good. But 2023, at least the first half, things have turned around, and I'm here to talk to you about that turnaround. Dun, 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 dun. If you watch my other investment updates, I'm going to point to them right now, I think, on the screen, hopefully. In that case, you should know that this video is only going to cover the mutual funds that I have at Vanguard. I have other money in other places, but we're not talking about that now. We're not talking about any individual stocks. These are just the mutual funds. And I get this question all the time, seriously. So I've already made a video. If you want to know which mutual funds I'm invested in, I made that video over on my other channel, Rashida Dow, but I'll link to it here. You can see every mutual fund that I'm invested in. I gotta look up my notes, y'all. But I want to give you the information you want first. So if you want to get out of here after this, you can, but you shouldn't because I have a lot of other good stuff for you. But in the first half of 2023, the value of the assets I own, so my mutual funds in Vanguard, went up by $139,000 in 6 months. Y'all, my net worth increased by $139 in 6 months without me taking any action. I don't do anything in my mutual funds. I'm a very set it and forget it person. So in that 6 months, $139,000. Jaw dropped? My jaw dropped when I looked at it because last time I looked at it, the numbers were not doing this. Jaw dropped. $139,000 in 6 months simply by letting what I owned do what it was going to do. Even through the down markets, I'm very much, it's going to do what it does. And I let it go. I forget about it. But yay, $139,000. And now an alarm is going off. I think this video is cursed. What is going on? Back to it. Just in June alone, my investments have increased $43,414. In June, in 1 month, $43,000. All the times I went to work, I had people talking sideways to me. If I had known that investing regularly in the stock market could get me $43,000 in a month, and I'm not like, okay, now I want to give you the longer scale. Yes, I've talked to you about what happened in 6 months. If you look back, you can see what happened to my investments over 2022. I'll link to that. You can see what happened to my investments in 2021. I'll link to that. But let's talk about the long term. I started investing, I think, in 2011. Super, super slow at first. And then eventually, whenever I got some extra cash, I invested it. So when I got laid off, got a chunk of change there, I invested it. But I think when sorry, excuse me, got a bit of a cough. Vanguard really only lets you look at about 10 years of data, so I can't go all the way back to the beginning and give you my total history from there. But what I can tell you is that 1 month, I talked about being up $43,000 in June, but in March 2020, I was down 58,000, right? Like things happen. Things have happened. And so I want you to know that if you're investing in the stock market, if you have mutual funds, if you have ETFs, whatever you have, if you're seeing a down, know that overall, things typically go up. Now, of course, this is not financial advice. I am not telling you to invest in the market or how to invest in the market. I'm telling you what I do and what works for me. What works for me is to look for investments that I kind of vibe with. I'm a very vibey girl. If it feels good, I do it. So I look for investments that feel right. I invest in them and I let the money ride. It's going to do what it does. I pretend it doesn't exist. I literally, unless I'm like strapped for cash, I don't go in it. And that is how I plan on making my investments last a really long time. In the FIRE community, people talk a lot about the 4% rule and having enough money that you can take out 4% each year and live on it. Most years I take out 0 because I do other things for work, so I'm not fully retired. I'm like quasi-retired. More info can be found about that on this channel, and I'll have more videos coming soon. But the important thing to know is that I don't live on these investments. I'm letting them ride for as long as possible until I don't have a choice. Truly, it's my I don't have a choice money. Okay, let's talk about the long term now. Over 10 years, my rate of return has been 11.8%, which I know someone's going to tell you they could do better than that in other places. Other people are doing better than that in the market. I'm a very set it and forget it girl, like I said, so I don't care. 11% is cool for me, and let me tell you exactly why. 10 years ago, so July 1st, 2013, my balance in my Vanguard account was $67,000. $67,000. 10 years later, so that was July 10th, 2023, my ending balance in this account, my Vanguard account, was $814,183. $814,183. Blue, blue, blue. I'm not saying numbers well today. Okay. $67,000 to $814,000. But don't go yet. I'm getting to a really important point. The money I put in between the time when I had $67,000 to now is a little shy of $319,000. So me, myself, money out of my pocket in the last 10 years, put in let's call it 319. Put in $319,000 in 10 years. My investment returns on that money I put in the last 10 years is $428,000. $428,000. So I have gotten more in investment returns than I put in, because 319 and 67 is a number that I'm not going to add on camera, but I know it's less than 427, right? My money has more than doubled. I have $814,000 in my investment account, in my retirement and non-retirement accounts, my mutual funds, and I put in less than half of it. The other half came from the market. The more than half came from the market doing what it does. I also want to talk to you about $319,000. Now that sounds like a lot, That was over the course of 10 years. You may not be able to put in $319,000 into the market today, but could you put in $30,000, $32,000 a year for the next 10 years? And if so, what is your return going to be, right? Like what? It may be $400,000, right? It may not be, right? Like 'cause last year, my return was a little lower. I wait another 6 months and everything's turned around. So all this to say, if you feel like it's hopeless and it's too late to start investing, think about what your time frame is. This is how my life changed over 10 years, my money life, right? I had $67,000 invested 10 years ago. And yes, that might sound like a crazy amount of money, like, oh my God, that's a lot of money to invest. I'm behind. That's not the point though, right? Like that's defeatist thinking, and we're not starting there. I truly think that anything you want in life, you can have. You just got to make a plan and stick to it. So if you start investing now, even if it's not $31,000, if it's $15,000, what can you do with that? If it's $1,500, what can you do with that? I opened this Vanguard account with $1,000. I saved up until I had $1,000 back in like 2010 or 2011, and I put in $1,000, and that's how I opened it. I'll show you my investment horizon. You can see it was really flat for a long time because I wasn't really investing. It was when I got lump sums of cash, things came in, I put money in, and then I started investing pretty regularly. I was investing in my 401k at work. And I don't have a 401k anymore because I don't work for a company like that anymore. So I'm saying all this to say it's not too late. It's not too late to start investing. You still have plenty of time. If you think you're going to work for another 5 years or another 10 years, I would actively and aggressively start investing now so that your money can grow, because money grows in the stock market. And I'm not selling anything. I promise there's nothing for sale here. I am not trying to tell you this so that I can get money from you. I'm trying to tell you this so that you can go get the money that's out there, right? Companies want your money invested in them so they can use your money to grow, and then when they grow, you get the benefit of it. I want this for you. I want it for me, right? And the things I want for me, I want for you, if you want it too. In 2023, I've invested about $3,000. I invest about $500 a month, so I've invested about $3,000 so far. I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like, could you invest $500 a month? I'm not investing, $20,000 a month. I really want you guys to know, but this is doable. You can start somewhere. You can start investing small and watch time make magic with your money, right? So I think that was the last thing I need to tell you based on the things I'm seeing. In 2022, when I looked at my account, there would be a lot of red, and red is like things are going down. A lot of down arrows that are red. I'm looking in 2023, there's lots of green. That doesn't mean that we're out of the red zone, but there's not going to be red again. But if you look at the timeline, put it back on the screen, things have gone up, 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 and maybe a down, and then up, up, up again, right? Like I said, I've put in, I'm going to do the math, 319 plus 67, that's like 380 something, I think. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let it ride, right? And my investment returns are $427,000. Over the course of 10 years, I double my money, right? And it's to be clear, I'm not putting it in evenly. I'm not putting in the same amount every month. Like I said, whenever I had a windfall, that money went right there. And then some months I didn't invest anything if I didn't have it. But if you can invest steadily, if you can come up with $30,000 a year, if you can come up with a number that feels good to you, you should. I would do it. The lawyer in me is telling me that I can't tell you you should do it. I'm telling you that I would do it. So go ahead, make your money work for you, right? Like make it work in the stock market. The time is going to pass anyway, and the money's not making money in your savings account. It's not doubling in your high yield savings account. It's not, right? I have more money. I still can't get over this. In my investment account, the money I put in is a smaller share than the money the market made for me using that money. I feel like it's a no-brainer. And now, of course, lots of disclaimers here. I'm a lawyer. I'm not your lawyer. This is not financial advice. It doesn't have to be Vanguard. It could be anyone. I'm not getting paid by Vanguard. Although Vanguard, hey friend, sponsored video. I'm doing this just because I am on a quest to be more transparent, and I think money is really important, and not enough of us talk about money in ways that aren't condescending. And so, yeah, go get it. Go get your money. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribe, give us a thumbs up, turn on notifications, do all the things all the YouTubers ask you to do. Go ahead and do it. All right, now it's your turn. Tell me in the comments, are you up for the year or are you down for the year? If you're already investing, let me know. Are your investments going up from January 2023 to the end of June 2023? Did you gain money or did you lose money? And if you haven't started investing yet, tell me in the comments if you're going to do it this July. And if you're not going to do it in July, tell me when you are going to start investing. I want to hear from you down below. Lock it in. Got a little something in my throat.